today. G'day. How you going? Welcome back to what we call Griffetts Garden and the little helper. So I was just chopping some spinach, chard, whatever you want to call it, that I'm going to give to the chickens. This is the same stuff that I was talking about in the previous video, when it bolts and goes to seed. It's not very tasty at this point, so we just trying to keep it growing and giving the offcuts to the chickens. And you can see here how it's bolted, and it will be flowering quite soon. So try to cut it off before it gets to that point. Anywhere will do down here, to be honest, for us at least anyway. And it just leaves this bottom layer of leaves, and you can see from the ones that I've already cut that they're starting to grow back quite well. So I don't know exactly how well they're going to grow back or whether they're going to go to seed again, but I guess we'll find out before too much longer, to be honest. Some are going better than others. If they come back, then happy days, we'll get more chard out of them. If not, I guess it doesn't cost that much to put some more in. So I'll go and give these to the chickens and have a look at what's next. So here we are at the chickens, and there should be 7. Well, there is 7. So we'll give them some food. They don't mind this stuff, as I say. If you don't laugh at chickens, I think there's something wrong. They've only just not long come into this pen, to be honest, so they're still getting through. Well, I guess they've just about finished the growth that was in there from weeds and grain over the winter period. So they'll spend summer out here, where these chooks are pretty special. They have a summer and a winter pen. So this is their summer pen. We'll get to the winter. We'll get to the winter pen a little bit later. But what we do is we cycle them through 2 different pens. This one gets a spell over winter, and out the other side is where we put them for the winter, and use that as our summer veggie garden patch. So the benefits of them cleaning up from the previous summer, all the various weeds and bits and pieces like that, but also do their business all over the patch, and it's nice and fertilised and relatively well dug up over that period of time. So I'll show that in a video down the track, but for the moment these guys are punching out 6 to 7 eggs a day, so they're obviously fairly happy. You'll notice that there's a good layer of straw in there, so I use, well, some people call it a deep litter method. I'm not sure if that's really deep litter at this point in time. There's only a bale of straw in there, so I think it's the best way to do it for a couple of different reasons. One, it keeps the dust down, for sure. Certainly our summers are drier than most. Keeps dust down, it keeps the weeds down, it keeps the flies down. Flies from chickens doing their business on the ground in there. The other thing it does is it gives them somewhere to scratch, really. Not somewhere to scratch, but something to scratch in. So you chuck a bit of feed in there, and they'll go hunting around with it for maybe not hours, but it keeps them busy, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that's plenty of shade, plenty of nests, and that's the chickens. I'll go through what they are another time, but there's definitely 3 varieties in there. The little one at the front happens to be her name, the little one. She's a bit of a crossbreed between 2. So there should be 2 purebreds, 3 nominally typical chickens, an Australian chicken and a bit of a cross. So I'll go through them down the track. But anyway, that's the chickens fed for the moment. So what I did want to talk about, and hopefully somebody has some advice on this, or at least some ideas, is these broad beans and their curly nature and stunted nature, and well, call it what you want really at the top. Pretty crappy specimens. This is just tomato dust on here, so it's nothing untoward. It's just tomato dust to try to do something about that, because I had a bit of a look on the web, and it could be 2 different things from what I can figure out. One is a residual herbicide that I can't find that we actually have here in Australia, so I'm not sure about that. The other one points to what's called a broad mite, and supposedly it's 0.2 millimetres, which is extremely small, and it lives underneath and within the leaf, and you can kind of see on the bottom of the leaf, I don't know if you can see that, to be honest, there's a bit of texture on the bottom of it. So maybe there's some truth in that, and it lives in underneath the leaf, and or within the leaf on the underside, and well, does this to it. So I don't know if I've had a bit of a look at what can treat it, and I haven't been able to find anything so far. But I mean, this one here is probably starting to get over it, but these other ones, I don't even know if they're going to make it to flowering stage. So that's why I put the tomato dust on it. But if you know what that could be, or how we can treat it here in Australia, then let me know, because well, this is only a small patch of beans, but I don't think we're going to get any more than like 3 beans out of it at this point. And well, we're still eating beans from last year. That's how well they grew last year. Too late to put a next succession planting in at this point in time, being, you know, getting towards the end of October. We've kind of missed the boat there, so we may end up with no broad beans this year, which will be a little bit sad, but because they're quite tasty little things. The only other possibility, I think, is this is a fairly large spreading of mushroom compost. It's been there for a while now. Like, when I say a while, it's probably March, April or something like that this year. So, what, 6 months or so? And whether there was anything in that, because we brought it in a few cubic meters of it and spread it around. But these are the only plants, and along with sugar snap peas, that are having any issue, but both being essentially legumes. Maybe there's something in that as well, but anyway, if you know what it might be, absolutely let me know, because I don't want to have to try to go through this again in the future. So this is a little patch of sugar snap peas. Again, pretty poor effort, to be fair. Disappointed with them, but you can see that they have the same problem with the curled up leaf, and really no growing pretty poorly, nowhere near where they should be. They don't really have that same texture underneath as the broad beans, but you know, makes me look like a pretty useless gardener, to be honest. So I'd like to think I'm a little bit better than that. You know, if we get some peas off of that, then happy days. But it doesn't look that good at the moment. It looks dry, but again, the mushroom compost dries out on top quite a bit. It's quite moist underneath. Clumps quite well, so there's a fair bit of mushroom compost in this as well. So I don't know, there's a little bit of snail and slug pressure on around the garden at the moment, but not a huge amount. They're just not growing, so I'd like to better solve the problem however best I can. Oh, and here comes Mr. Magpie protecting the young ones. Get swooped on by them on a regular basis. So hopefully they don't come and get me. So yeah, I don't know what to do with these. Probably end up ripping them out, to be fair, but if we get something off them, we get something off them. So they're all raised beds, no herbicides around them. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know, and hopefully we can sort something out. So anyway, that's probably it for the update on where we're at now. We still have plenty more of the garden to have a look at and plenty of other bits and pieces. So that'll do from Griffetts Garden for today. So I'll see you in the next one. Just before I go, just want to give a massive shout out to those that watched my first attempt at a YouTube video the other day. There's a few views on that so far, so pretty chuffed about that, to be honest. It's probably you know, quite a challenging thing to start up a YouTube channel, but thanks to those that had a little look. Not much to subscribe to at the moment, but if you want to do that, then go right ahead. You know how it works, I'm sure. And liking your video is obviously going to help me, so thanks so much for watching, and let's see where we can take this and add a little Griffetts Garden. Bye.